Now, while we were doing the research for the best phones this sale season, there's one phone that stood out to us, and that is the vivo X200T. Now, we've had this phone ever since launch, and Arnav has been using it as his daily driver on and off. And therefore, we thought that we'd give you a long-term perspective on the phone 100 days later. And then you can decide whether you want to actually spend money on this phone or not. But to preempt what I'm going to say in the rest of the video, let me tell you that this phone is Vivo's underdog for us tech nerds. It is one of those very well-rounded packages and feels like a no-flaw phone for this price. I'll explain how, so stay tuned till me with the end. If you're watching me for the first time, I'm Ashad. This is Trakin Tech English, your destination for detailed, incisive gadget reviews. Now, the design language of the X200T is very familiar because Vivo has many phones with the same design language where you have this large camera, circular camera module at the rear, which is also true for the X300 Ultra. The only different design right now has to be the X300 FE. But I still feel like this design is not outdated yet. It looks very good. Also, it's built very sturdily. So you get glass on the back, you get flat aluminum sides, and the entire in-hand feel is fantastic, almost like using an iPhone 17. This is one of those bags which resists fingerprints like anything, and there are no smudges at all, and no scratches to show, no dents to show. It's maintained itself really well. But of course, we've been using it with the case. If you don't use it with the case and if you drop it, then maybe you might see some dents and scratches, but otherwise it's been fine. In fact, in one of those funny incidences where Arnav was actually using the phone, he dropped it inside a basin and then picked it up immediately and nothing happened to it. So yeah, multiple times it has been dropped, but it's been fine most of the times. Now, you do get shot sensation core protection along with the screen protector pre-installed inside the box. We've removed that screen protector, and shot sensation core is their middle ground sort of Corning Gorilla Glass 7i replacement kind of thing, right? And compared to Corning Gorilla Glass 7i, this resists scratches better, shot sensation core. Yeah, I mean, that's what we've noticed over long-term usage, because there are some phones with Corning Gorilla Glass 7i that we've used which actually gets scratches really fast, but not this one. So overall, it's a comfortable phone because of that comfortable size. It's not very heavy either, looks very familiar, and is very premium. It technically is Vivo's iPhone 17 lookalike. Now, what else matters to us in the long run? Your support, of course. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and help us reach 1 million subscribers really soon. Talking about this very nice display, honestly, we haven't faced any problems while using the phone. See, the specs you can see on your screen right now, but it's the same as the vivo X200. So what you get is a flat 1.5K 120Hz AMOLED display, but with higher brightness metrics and no LTPO. I think LTPO not being there is all right because the display itself has been tuned really well, because you get 3 color modes. You get natural, professional, and bright. We use it in the natural mode and the professional mode, both of which are very well tuned, and we felt like the professional mode was the most neutral of the 3. You also get HDR support both on YouTube and Netflix, and the HDR grading is top notch. You get consistently good display experience with the phone, so I really don't have any complaints. Talking about the speakers, they get impressively loud. They also sound rich. They have a lot of bass as well. This is a surprisingly good set of dual speakers that we tested in a phone, and that is our experience even 100 days later. It's really very well tuned. Now let's talk about the performance, and performance is where things get interesting because what you get is the MediaTek Dimensity 9400 Plus, which is basically an upgrade over the X200's 9400, especially in terms of CPU performance. And it has 12GB of LPDDR5X RAM and 256 or 512GB of UFS 4.1 storage. So it's stacked really well, especially for a phone under 50,000 rupees. See, in daily usage, after 100 days, it's very fast, it's very responsive. There are no performance lags or stutters that we can report about at all. It is one of the smoothest experiences that you can find in this price range. And even when you're playing games like BGMI and COD, which actually run very well on most phones, it runs absolutely fine. It runs at 120 FPS too. Now, we did notice that some online reviews mentioned that the phone gets hot after 30 minutes or more of gameplay, which is somewhat true in our opinion as well with the X200T. Now, initially also when we tested it out, we did mention that the phone does get warm. We tried playing Genshin Impact once again, so the average FPS is around the same that we got initially, but the temperatures are again pretty high. So something that you should keep in mind. So if you're playing graphically intensive games like Genshin Impact or Wuthering Waves, this phone's capability to heat up is pretty easy actually. It doesn't get like unbearably hot that you cannot use it, but during the summers or even inside air-conditioned room, it can get hot. So that's something that you should keep in mind. Which means that for short bursts of gaming, like say for example, if you take out Genshin Impact and if you play it for like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, it should be fine. But anything beyond 30 minutes, then you'll have to probably like quit the game once and then wait for it to cool down a little bit and then start again, or maybe use a gaming cooler with it. Battery tuning for the vivo X200T actually has been pretty good. So we get a 6200 mAh battery inside, and we're getting anywhere between 7 to 8 hours of screen on time, sometimes even more depending on our usage. So that's nice actually. Charging is of course fast too. You get 90-watt wired charging speeds, so you can charge it up in under an hour easily, and you also get 40-watt wireless charging support as well, which again is a rarity for a phone in 50,000 rupees price category. So overall, if you look at it, battery life good, performance good enough, I would say, if the phone didn't get too hot. So if you're looking for a phone for gaming specifically, then it'll be very difficult for me to recommend the X200T, especially if you play, games for a longer duration. Alright, now time to talk about the cameras, and the hardware specs are fantastic. You get a proper triple rear camera setup. So 50MP primary, 50MP ultrawide, and a 50MP 3x telephoto. And at the front, what you get is a 32 megapixel selfie camera. Now, of course, we've been testing the cameras, and our opinions at launch haven't really changed much. So basically, what you can expect is that all the three phones can, of course, shoot at 50MP in high-res mode, but by default, the main camera shoots at 12MP pixel bit samples. So like I mentioned in my first impressions, the primary camera shoots pretty good pictures, but still there's a little bit of over sharpening that you can see. Now, colors are pretty good, especially in the Zeiss natural color mode, which is nice. But you know what? With the vivo X300 Ultra, which we tested out recently, it has that refined color mode. I wish that Vivo can push that refined color modes to even something like the X200T, but I doubt that will happen because I think they are able to do that with that color sensing camera. But if they can somehow manage to pull off that refined mode here, we'd love that. HDR tuning is excellent. Highlights are well controlled, and the shadow detail is also impressive, so no complaints there. Now, talking about skin tones, you have to use the Zeiss natural mode if you want, close to authentic skin tone, so that's good. And of course, portraits are great as usual because Vivo's algorithm is fantastic. So at 3x especially, you get very good, bokeh drop off and edge detection both. And you have those different Zeiss bokeh modes that you can definitely play with. Now, talking about the 3x camera, the zoom levels are particularly good, especially up till 6x. But beyond that, sometimes, images can look artificial because of that overly AI processing. So the quality is top notch, especially for the price that it is available at. Video quality is fantastic across the board. You get 4K 60 FPS with all the cameras because they use large sensors. Stabilization is good. Sound recording is alright. And generally, if you're shooting daylight videos, you should be pretty much happy with the kind of videos that you can get with it. And as for the selfie cameras, nothing to complain about. Great selfies that you can expect from the X200T.
Alright, so this video is shot using vivo's X200T. 4K 60 FPS, take a look at the quality, it's fantastic.
So if you're looking for a very well-rounded camera experience in the 50,000-60,000 rupee price category, I don't think there is a phone to beat the X200T right now. Now remember when I did the comparison, I said that the Motorola Signature has a better camera system overall. I still feel that to be true, but with the X200T, you cannot really go wrong with it. So in that 50,000-60,000 price category, you still get a very good performance. Now finally, talking about the software, it's Origin OS 6 based on Android 16, and Vivo's promising 5 plus 7 years of updates, which is Vivo's new updates policy, which I really appreciate, by the way. And ever since it launched, we've already gotten 2 updates for the phone, and it hasn't nerfed anything. In fact, it has just added a few features, which is nice. See, the basic Origin OS 6 experience stays the same because what you get are one notification from VApp Store every day if you don't switch off notifications. And lock screen poster is also switched on by default, which you might want to switch off because I'm not like a big fan of it, which is why I mentioned that. And thankfully, since this is a flagship phone, there are not too many bloatware or unnecessary apps pre-installed on the phone. Like I said, Origin OS 6 is hugely improved compared to FunTouch OS because you do get a bunch of new features that are genuinely useful along with AI features, right? But if you're looking at a phone which is a lot more refined in terms of software experience, I would still stick to, Samsung's One UI, ColorOS, Oxygen OS, or even Nothing OS for that matter. By the way, talking about bugs, we did face this one bug where we were getting notifications slightly delayed. This is something that we've noticed with many Vivo phones in the past, which continues with the X200T as well. It doesn't happen often, but once in a while, it definitely does crop up. Other than that, Origin OS 6, pretty good. So when the X200T launched, it was a strong contender in its category and not an outright winner. But for under 50,000 rupees, like about 100 days later, I feel like it is easily the best phone right now. You get solid build quality, you get solid display, you get solid performance, solid camera, solid battery, and a fairly good software experience. So like I said, it's nearly a flawless victory right now, if not a complete flawless victory for the X200T. So yeah, it's going to be one of those easy recommendations from our end. What do you guys think of the X200T 100 days later? Are there anybody out there in the audience who actually is daily driving the X200T? What has your experience been like? Let me know in the comments. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, keep tracking and stay safe.